David, let me ask you, how did you first meet Francine Dancer?
Oh, Francine Dancer, I met her in Hollywood. She just hosts my show only, and she's a very talented lady, and I let her host my show, and she dances very well, and she has a great personality. And I let her host my show. She's very talented.
So how did you first meet her?
I met her at one of the cable companies.
Yeah.
But we're just friends in the Lord only.
And how did you first meet David?
I first saw his little black puppet on a TV show. I thought it was supposed to be like a black Jesus puppet. That's where I first saw the show.
You got anything else to say, David?
Well, I am hoping that I can get back on regular TV. I used to be a walk-on actor on Good Times. I did some walk-on acting parts on Marcus Welby. And I would like to get my career back. I'm a member of Screen Actors Guild and AFTRA.
Yeah.
And when I finished at college, I got my master's degree in music and art, and I taught school for a while. And they cut off music and art teachers, and it's been hard for me to find a regular job, so I've been self-employed as a street musician and a portrait artist, not by chance. But I'm grateful to God I've been able to sustain myself and pay my rent without going on welfare.
So how'd the show go today?
Well, not too good. I got accused of sexual harassment.
Again?
Yeah, by the intern. And I asked her what her name was, and she said to call me honey. And I says, honey, could you put my credits in? And then she went and told Mark that I sexually harassed her. And so Mark says, if you don't apologize to her, we won't do your show. And then she played my songs wrong.
So David, tell me, what sort of direction are you taking the show with now, with the UFOs and...
Well, I say that people should know the truth, that UFOs do exist. Anybody that used to be in the military will tell you this. This is where all our technology came from, the computers, the music discs, and I think it's time that the government stops lying to the people and tell the people the truth. They got all this technology from these crash UFO discs, the computer, the VDD, all the stuff we use today, and I'm just tired of people lying not telling people the truth.
But how does UFOs and Christian Science come together?
Religion and the UFO phenomenon go hand in hand, because to be honest with you, the extraterrestrials taught the prophets in the Bible. Jesus was part extraterrestrial, and they don't want people to know the truth, and that's the pure truth. You know, and I'm tired of our society lying to people. UFOs do exist. Mm-hmm. That's why they don't want anybody on Area 51. In fact, May the 9th, a whole bunch of retired colonels and sergeants admitted at a press conference in Washington, D.C., and I made you a copy of that tape, where they admitted that they have retrieved crashed UFOs and that our government has gotten the technology from the UFOs. Wendell Stevenson, who is a UFO investigator, who's a retired colonel from the Marines, he worked at the Roswell crash that happened in 1947. He's a Christian Scientist, and he's a wonderful man.
What's your thoughts on UFOs, Francine? I know that you've seen them.
Well, they don't want me to tell that I've seen, but I think there's other planets and there's spirits somewhere, and probably some have a spiritual life form, but I don't know. You know, so far away I can't see them, but you know where they are. If there are other planets that have some form of life.
Oh, can you help me?
I don't know if the planet is capable of sustaining our type of life forms. It may be too hot or too cold or something, but I heard they said that they'd send up probes to like Mars or Venus or the Moon or somewhere, and that they found no life forms, but then they just find like some frozen water on Venus or Mars or somewhere, and that I thought that if there could be water, that there could be some type of amoeba or some type of life form, maybe different than we know it, but maybe some living thing up there. And somebody said that they might live in caves, and maybe our probes didn't show it. And I met some pretty spaced out characters have claimed to been from other planets. So I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty open to the possibility.
Yeah.
The UFO, they do have, our government is working with two Palladians, and they call them the humanoids, and they are identical to us. They're the Nordic type. They live on the planet Orion. They are working hand in hand with our government and with the military. I have seen extraterrestrials. I'll tell you an experience I had when my parents moved to Park.
You've told me this.
We've heard this.
We've heard this
story.
many times.
Well, let me say it. Since
no,
you let
we
her
already-
speak for a
no.
long time.
David, I don't want to hear the story again. I've heard
We
it
have
3
it
times.
on
We have it on
tape
tape.
3 times.
Well, anyway, extraterrestrials do exist. They're working with our government. That's why they won't let the public on Area 51. Extraterrestrials do exist. They have the group is the Timmers, are extraterrestrials that look identical to Afro-American and African people. The Palladians look identical. They call them the humanoid. The government calls them the humanoid. They look identical to Caucasian people. They also have the Greys that are the lizard type of space people that are reptilian, that have been abducting people. And for anybody to believe that we are the only life form in this galaxy is stone crazy. The UFOs have crashed all over the world, and it's about time they stop lying to the people. UFOs do exist. They're not make believe. They're not fiction.